red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Flags, red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light, peace, love to the family, peace, love and light to the family, peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the Facts remix by the 44 Tops. All right, give it up to the 44 Tops. You dig? So, first and foremost, let me know how we sound on the audio. We want to make sure that the audio is crispy, you know what I mean? And we're coming through clear as possible. So let us know how we sounding on the audio. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the roll call so we can see who is up in here. Shout out to all of the drunk aunties in the building. I see you. I see you. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the drunk aunties. The sound is good. All right, there we go. Okay, Philly is in the building. Philly is in the building. Shout out to Philadelphia. We got Covington, Georgia in the building. Shout out to Covington. Shout out to Covington. All right. Hold on. Where's the flyer? Is this it? Covington, Georgia in the building. Shout out to Covington, Georgia. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Covington, Georgia. We got Oakland. We got Washington. We got South Carolina. We got Orlando, San Diego, California, Memphis up in this thing. We have Wichita Falls, Florida, Detroit, Marietta. We got Rome, Georgia, the UK, North London, Louisville, Be More up in this thing representing. You know I'm talking about? Another Louisville, Seminole, Florida, land of the hidden mounds, aka land of flowers. Hartford, Connecticut, Portland. All right. We got Ireland up in the building. We got CT up in the building. Bridgeport in the building. Shout out to everybody up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody pulling up in this thing. Today is Thanksgiving, correct? On this Thanksgiving evening, all right, what we call Happy Indigenous Day. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody pointed out the 333rd day of the year. Yeah, that part. All right. Sundown, Texas, that part. Cleveland, Ohio. We have Cleveland, Ohio. Oakland up in this thing. Chi-Town, Chicago. Okay, y'all up in here deep. Salute to everybody. Welcome to the platform. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you catch up on the archives. We have a lot of content on this channel and whatnot. A lot of videos. Make sure you tap into all of the Third Eye Thursdays, the Melanin Mondays, and even the other videos that you see that we've uploaded, particularly from Blue Pill. He's been doing this thing with daily drops and whatnot. Shout out to Blue Pillar 44. All right. So you know, Red, what you eating? I ain't eating nothing right now. You know, I had a little simple dinner tonight. I wasn't able to connect with family and stuff like that. Usually I've done that before. I've traveled and going back to New York and stuff like that, but I'm in Atlanta. Yes, happy born day to Bobby Hemmett, to the legend. You know I'm talking about. Shout out to Bobby. Sag is in the building. Dr. Sabi, his birthday was recently and whatnot. So shout out to the OGs. You know what I mean? Shout out to the OGs. Yeah, definitely go and cop that Facts remix. Shout out to everybody who's been able to claim. I've been seeing in my email, a lot of people have claimed the song from Buy Me a Coffee. And anybody who buys a coffee, regardless of how much, you are able to claim the Facts song. It's on Buy Me a Coffee / Know the Ledger 44. And you can claim it regardless of, you could buy one coffee, two coffee, three coffee, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. That song is yours. So you can ride out to that. You feel me? We don't have it on streaming services because, as you can see with this episode that we'll be getting into, and we said it before and we'll continue to say it, we don't believe in the streaming services. We don't believe in Spotify. We don't believe in this new quote unquote business model that they rolled out to the artists. We believe that that is slavery. You feel me? We're not thirsty to be on the streaming platforms because what I don't want to do is I don't want Spotify to own my intellectual property, and I don't fully understand what that company is and what they're about, and and what it is that they do with your IP. You feel me? So I'm not rushing to put my classics. Like, you will not find the Scorpion King album. You won't find certain songs of ours. And I'm thinking about removing some of my shit off of Spotify because it's time for our own. I rather do it the old school way. I got to selling CDs, and I cut the middleman out and I went straight to Bandcamp. I'm gonna launch something on even.biz. I'm gonna launch a project on there. More than likely, that will be the 44 Tops project. You said, where do we go? You go direct to the artist. I have a Bandcamp page. They got all of our fire on there. I even have a SoundCloud page. I would rather you consume it through there. I also have a band Zoogle, what they call band Zoogle. It's just an artist page, Black Cloud Entertainment, right here on band Zoogle. You'll be able to find some stuff up there. But yeah, I'm not really feeling, I'm just not feeling the streaming platforms. So once again, at the same, I approach it the same way that I approach voting. I'm just not gonna put my John Hancock. I'm just not gonna put my energy. I'm just not gonna put my intellectual property into something that I don't wholeheartedly believe in. That's it. So as I'm watching things unfold, and we'll talk about that tonight. about what's unfolding in the dexterity of what what may be happening as a result of certain actions taken by one Aubrey Graham and whatnot. I'm like, let that shit fall. We need to figure out, huh, we need to figure out how we gonna do this thing the right way. You know what I mean? We need to figure out how we finna do this thing the right way because they got us messed up, you know. They got this thing messed up, you know. Yeah, so let's get into this. Let's get into the conversation. All right. Let's get into the conversation for the night. First and foremost, how was y'all day? Before I even begin, I can't, it's not about me. How was y'all day? Did y'all have one of those good days with family members and stuff like that? For the people who did get together with family members, and for the ones who didn't get together with family members, how was y'all day? How did everything work out? You know what I'm talking about? Did you feel fulfilled and whatnot? Did you have a good day off? If those For those that took a day off, I know some people that there's no days off. You know what I'm saying? It's they grinding and they get into it every day, but no day. What would you suggest a strategy for underground artists? Get into internet marketing, get into learn about, automation, learn about targeting, learn about SEO, master that, master doing some shit where, you are going to get your customers or your fans to communicate with you, right? On your terms. Because keep in mind, you're an artist, right? So if you're an artist, you necessarily don't have to subscribe to anything that the mainstream people are doing. Like you're an artist, keyword artist. So Spotify should not be your only option because Spotify is not a solid option for artists. What's really solid for an artist is to have their own quote unquote domain under their own name, direct to customer. Do you see the numbers that they talk about these artists are getting off of streams? God damn it. I wish I would. And I'm not about to put my art out there just to be consumed and I'm not receiving anything back. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing art for that. Hell to the nah. I'm not just doing, because in my world, there's no such thing as a starving artist. And when you make art, art is to be valued. You understand? Art is to be valued. I don't know about what nobody else is talking about, but if I do art, my art is not free because that's my energy. That is my IP. That is my treasures that I've gotten from my imagination. That's my bag right there. Fuck out of here. You could get some other shit. When I'm talking like this is free. This game, I would give you 10 hours a game for free. You feel me? I do all of these things, but the art, nah, we're gonna put a price tag on that. We're gonna put a price tag on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, throwing pitching pearls to swine. You know what I'm talking about? From where? Not in this reality, not in this timeline that we live in. We created a timeline to whereas, that shit has been solved. That problem has been solved. Like where there's a will, there's a way now. It might not have been that 20 years ago or 30 years ago, but God damn it, it's that now. So we got to stand in that type of energy and flow with that currency. Yes, Empress Carr, my condolences to you and your family as well. Um, Definitely. And for everybody out there, salute to all of y'all on this day. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, this day is about connecting with loved ones. You feel me? Catching up on family members who you may never see again. You know what I mean? Tapping in, connecting and whatnot. I just wish that we create a new day. You feel me? A whole new day where we're able to do this and even more. There should be a day where we come together and break bread, eat good and invest in each other on some Shark Tank type shit. Like we could take this a higher notch than getting together to bust down some goddamn stuffing and cranberry sauce and whatnot. That's cool and everything. And that would be called culture. That's part of the culture. But goddamn it, we grown and we in a new timeline and we could add on to this culture. You feel me? We could add on to this culture. You feel? Because it's just that time. It is that time. So shout out to everybody who got to connect with their loved ones. You know what I mean? Talk your shit at the dinner table. You know what I mean? You got shit to brag about this year. You could talk your Bitcoin shit. You know what I mean? You could talk your Black Republican shit. You know what I'm talking about? You could talk, there's a lot of things you could pop your collar. So salute to everybody. Let's get to this convo. A lot of shit happened since the last time we got together and on Monday, Melanin Monday with Blue Pill. Shout out to Blue. Yeah, there's a lot of things that have been happening in this ecosphere that we exist in and whatnot. This ecosphere, this echo chamber and whatnot. So this is the Great Fall Part 7. Let's get right to it. The final results, all of the votes are been counted. Everything is basically accounted for. The votes are all accounted, and it's come to show that every state shifted towards the Republican Party in this election. Now, Blue Pill points out in our last conversation that you have to keep in mind that even though there's strong signs of a red state, we're talking about an orange state, right? The majority of these people that shifted towards the Republican Party were shifting towards the Trump Party. And the Trump Party is a little bit different than the traditional Republican Party. He exists inside of the confines of the Republican Party. But what he's building and what he is creating and whatnot with his Trump movement and Trumpisms and whatnot is going to, in 4 years, it's not going to look anything like the Republican Party of today. Okay. I just want to really let everybody know that get everything done that you can get in 2024. Handle what really cherish this moment. Like breathe and take it all in and literally cherish this timeline that we're in, because from January moving forward, everything changes forever and it does not go back to where it was. You're going to look back on 2024 and be like, damn, I was dragging my wagon. You know what I mean? I wasn't taking advantage of the taking advantages. I wish I was back in 2024. Similar to many people that I know that was like, yo, if I had another shot at 2020, I would do it differently. I wish I could go back to 2020 because there's some things that I wanted to pick up. You know what I mean? And they don't have right now. So you'll be looking back at 2024 in 2026 and in 2028 with the same type of quote unquote mind state. So once again, ground yourself or ground ourselves. Breathe. Take it in. Look around. Look at what you're seeing. Pay attention to what's around you. Take it in and ask yourself, what is it that because it's 30 days left to this bitch and it's going mad fast. But what is it that I would do to really take advantage of 2024 going into January? Because I know shit is going to change and it's going to change at a very fast pace. So I should be I should be ready. I should be prepared. I should be ready. I should be prepared. I should have some type of savings. So there's a few things that are standing out to me that are like, we're going to cover it. We're going to do an end of the year show at the end of January, at the end of December. We do this every year. We wrap up the year and whatnot. And I'm going to give this year to the streamers. I'm going to give 2024 is the year that the streamers broke out. This is the breakout year for the streamers. Okay. And I'm not talking about the stream chasers. I'm talking about the streamers. The shift in entertainment has fully happened in the year of 2024. Okay. For the streamers. Kai Sinet, I Show Speed, Aiden Ross, and a whole slew of others whose names I'm not even really familiar with, or they just not on my radar like that. Okay. The power of the streamers. The power of the streamers. Let's not talk about the currency. You know, that's a whole nother thing, the bag that's coming to them, but the power, the influence, and the shift in the ways that people are consuming quote unquote entertainment, it should be studied. You know, once again, and I said it on, I forgot what show I said it. I said it, we were doing a private crypto class with Chicago Block Bully the other day. We were talking about opening up some content houses for streamers and whatnot. And you know, this is definitely something that I would highly encourage. If there's parents out there and your child is an avid gamer, right? They're a gamer. They like to play video games and they have a personality, because it would be very hard to be a streamer and you're an introvert. It's not going to work if you have anxiety issues, if you don't like getting on camera, if you don't mind getting talked about and joked apart. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. You have to be able to take a lot of criticism. You got people from around the world, from young ages all the way up to grown-ups, old niggas, you know, looking at you and judging you and joking about you and trolling you and shit like that. You have to have some tough skin. But and once again, you got parents that got children who are not adding on to the legacy. You know what I mean? They're not adding on to the income streams. They're not adding on to just, you know, they're like, some of them may be in limbo trying to figure shit out. Well, encourage them to get into some streaming. Build up their following, build up their subscribers. It's a subscription service model that is being utilized. Subscription service model, which is the model, the economic model that you're going to see a lot more of moving into the future. You're going to see a lot more people adapt the subscription based model, where, you know, you'd be like, yo, my goal is 100,000 subscribers at $5 a subscription. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. And we're gonna get this a month. You know what I mean? We're gonna get 100,000 at $5 a month. And basically that's how we're gonna rock out. And we're gonna be able to fund our production companies. We're gonna be able to take that and we're gonna be able to build more brands, build more products, more services, and just grow, 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 grow. Because remember, we're in this new timeline, and the physical restraints of how much we could make or how much we did, all of that is over with. I promise you. In this new Trump era, moving forward with a currency, if you feel you could, the currency is being built up, the energy, the current, right? Things are expanding and whatnot. You're going to see billionaires, regular people become billionaires. Millionaires is going to be the new thousandaires. It's going to shift dramatically in the next 12 months, you know? So don't put no limits on yourself. Don't put no, and once again, I think streaming is a young man's game. Let's give it to the youth for right now. And I'm not being age sensitive. I'm not hating on nobody of the older ages and whatnot, because I don't know shit. I don't, you know, I could stream. The fuck, if you could go live, you could stream. You know what I mean, let's be clear. If you could go live, you could stream. These little kids are not even playing video games no more. It's not even like they playing video games. You know what I'm saying? They're just on string. Casanet is doing entertainment. He has a variety show, basically. He has a live variety show. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. The children they're glued to that because he's going live and he's in front of 600,000 in one time. So when he came to New York City, right, this is how he became a legend. Yeah, YouTube is a streaming service platform. Exactly. YouTube is a streaming service platform. But Twitch and the other one, Kick, and some other ones are basically, those are the ones where you're monetizing your pages and stuff like that. But we'll have a whole show where we're gonna talk about that more. I don't want to take this time up. I'm just giving adults out there, I'm just giving my listeners, I'm giving the KTLians a little bit of heads up and some insight about what we will be speaking of at the end of the year show. I'm going to bring receipts. I'm going to bring the channels to you. I'm going to bring, everything that you need to know about the new streaming revolution and why this is the way to get rich doing what you like. It's not a job. Don't let nobody ever lie to you. This is not a fucking job. This is a hobby. And the children of today, when you ask them, yo, what y'all want to be? If it's 10 of them, 6 of them will say content creators. So they obviously, because think about I was watching a documentary for Sean. Who saw the documentary for Sean? Sean's mama and Valletta Wallace are the same woman. I don't care what nobody say. He'll talk about these Caribbean parents. They never wanted their children to do any type of what they call American music or what secular music or what they say hip hop. They turned their nose up to it. I lived in Flatbush. It was even our people, my parents as well. Just parents of the Gen X generation. They hated hip hop. Okay. They did not like it. To them, that was not a way to get money. They was not supporting it. They were like, fuck that shit is but so I'm using that example to say that a lot of parents slept on their children being artists, recording artists, turning into millionaires and becoming mass successful and whatnot. The same thing is taking place when it comes to parents and these streamers, right? Setting their not being able to set their children up to either be streamers, clothing designers, because that's the new shit too. If you ask 10 children, yo, what y'all want to do? 8 of them is going to say, I want my own clothing line. So we should be teaching as parents, as the adults, instead of trying to be a fucking grown ass castanet, we should be coming together and saying, yo, which one of these children have star qualities? Which one of these little ones, which one of these teenagers, these star seeds have that it factor? The same way that they were able to zone in on all of those streamers. They like, I Duke Dennis, Casanet, and a few other, y'all got the it factor. We're gonna get behind y'all. We're gonna help to pump y'all. We're gonna help to push y'all. And the same way that you invest in the same way that you can invest in a crypto coin is the same way that you can invest in one of these children and whatnot, because they out here giving out NIL deals, millions of dollars to children just to play video games. You feel me? Just to play video games. These children are getting NIL deals. Last year, I was going to the HBCUs and we were doing tours and whatnot with the esport departments. And I promise you, I was like, wow, these children were paying their own. They was covered. They was paying their tuition off. They was getting $50,000 for winning tournaments. Like they was getting to the bag, playing video games while in college. You feel me? While in school. So if we want to talk about saving the youth, if we want to talk about leveling up the youth, if we want to talk about getting the youth in a rightful position to where they won't curse us in the future, well, we need to be the ones to say, yo, we're going to put together these content houses. We're going to be the ones to get their camera equipment, the lighting equipment. We're going to have to be the managers to kick down these doors, because I promise you, all of these young dudes got OGs with them. Don't ever get it confused like the youth is just running wild like a pack of hyenas and whatnot. No, they have OGs with them. They have counsel. They have people who are business people who you don't see in front of the camera, because that's not where the business people hang out. They hang out behind the camera where the money talk is happening, where the real business is taking place. So we got to protect these children, protect their rights, protect their IP, make sure they don't get signed up into slavery, any slave contracts, and line them up, because the example is out there. These children, they touching millions right now, just being themselves authentic, or they're being authentic, they're just being authentic, you know. So no, what's wrong with turning a wrench? You could turn a wrench and stream as well. I'm just telling you that streaming is the new medium, right? The new paradigm. You don't have to be a video gamer. You don't have to sit around and you know, and work on your riz with the females. You could be doing carpentry. You could show us how you build your house. You could show us how you could fix a GNX. You could show us how you could make clothes, how you could sew, how you could make sneakers and whatnot. All of these things are going to be rocking in a streaming paradigm. And then people are going to get monetized by utilizing the subscription model of all ages. I mean, OnlyFans, okay, is a streaming platform. Okay, it's subscription service. So we're talking about streaming as the future, but more so the subscription service economy is the future. Because if Castanet just had 600,000 people that was subscribed to him, like people on YouTube got 600,000 and 1 million subscribers, but they not paying nothing. So that's not that's a whole nother conversation. That's like tomatoes. That's not the conversation. Is that you have 600,000 and they're paying. Okay, that's when the conversation changed. That's when it should shifted, because it's a million channels on YouTube with 1 million followers. I see them every day, but they're not monetized to where each person is paying a motherfucking. They're willing to pay. Like, this is cable television. They're like, yo, you putting on. I'm gonna give you $5 because you're entertaining me. Because to be honest with you, $5 a month, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. So it's the aspect of subscription as a service, SaaS. Okay, it's called SaaS, subscription as a service. That's the business model. That's the method to whereas you change everything. That's what we introduce the youth to. That's what we teach them, and we help educate them about the business, because this is about business. 2025 is around the corner. We don't have no time to try to figure this shit out. We're already behind the 8 ball. Nigga, we're late to the party. We're already late. We supposed to have been doing this 5, 7, 4, a minute ago. You know what I mean? We supposed to have figured this shit out a minute ago, because we could look around and be like, yo, who got the content houses? Who got the production studios? You feel me? Who's doing shit like what Cat Williams just went ahead and bought all of this land to build a film studio? And then you got 50 Cent in Shreveport with the film studio. Then you got Tyler Perry in Atlanta with the film studio. That is 3 right now. 3 major melanated studios are in production. Hollywood started with 5. So we're literally, as we sit around and just look around, 3 is already in the bag. We need 2 more to get the full Thanos glove and whatnot. So you have 5 production studios where you can make anything that your mind can fathom. My nigga, that's the power. That's where power starts. And especially if you're in charge of your distribution, especially if you're in charge of all of the licensing and shit like that. If you make this a whole business model, that's how we're going to be able to really start seeing what they call real money. Me and Keys was talking about this the other day. I mean, like literally, Elon Musk and the people on the right side. You see the map right here where the whole shit is red? They all waking up feeling like they Elon Musk, right? They align themselves with the futurists. They align themselves with the perception of power and whatnot. Elon Musk talking about going to Mars. He has rockets that are landing themselves. What the fuck are we doing? You understand? What is the most blackest person doing? Right? What is your leaders doing? What do they do? What are they doing in 2024 that is considered to be, planning for 100 years ahead? You understand? What the fuck are they doing? What are they inventing? What are they showing off? They're not even imagining, bro. We got the gift of gab as black people. Niggas is not even imagining out loud. You feel me? But everybody talk about, oh, we going to Mars, we in the fifth dimension. Nigga, who gonna pick you up? You don't even know how to land a rocket. You don't even know how to land a rocket, but you talking about somebody gonna come and pick you up like you getting flued out to Sirius B and whatnot. That's thought behavior. You don't need your own country to land a rocket. You don't need your own country to talk about going to Mars. You don't need your own country to even fucking think out loud and to imagine first. To be honest with you, I don't think people understand how these visionaries and these futurists work. They write a white paper, they write a piece of paper, they write their ideas at MIT, they put it in a white paper, they put it out there for the public to consume. And what does the public do? The public winds up funding their ideas to the tune of millions of dollars, and that idea becomes a prototype, and that prototype turns into a product. This is how the game works. They put it out there. They put it out there. They put it out there with a research paper. They put it out there with a white paper. Everything is not being built at NASA. I'm sorry. Go and study Elon Musk and what he did with his stuff. He wasn't working through NASA. Okay. And then they got the government to fund his ideas. They got the government to fund some shit that he put on a piece of paper. And then it turned into something viable. We could put things on paper. We could put things on white papers, on research papers. We got to go to Africa. We might have to go to other places where they got actual real money, real money, real resources. But that's something that our people should really start looking into. I mean, the conversations about Kendrick and everything, we're going to talk about that tonight. It's cool. You feel me? It's cool. But it has to, the shit got to level up in 2025. We have to have galactic conversations. We have to have conversations about how we're going to leave the planet, or how we're going to go into the middle of the planet. We have to show the quote unquote paperwork. We got to show the research. I like what Billy Carson and what's his name, Terrence Howard are doing. I like that. You feel me? It's cool. You know what I mean? It's it's admirable. And more conversations, more quote unquote contemplations should be had, right, on my timeline. Maybe I'm just into the wrong algorithm. Maybe there's mad channels having these conversations. Maybe there's mad platforms entertaining the future like that. But I'm ready to have futurism conversations, Afrofuturist conversations. We have to talk about, if we're gonna leave the planet, I need to see the research. I need to see the motherfucking. I need to see prototypes of what the shit gonna look like that's gonna take us off the planet, because they're doing it on that side. Come on now. You got white thoughts asking Elon Musk, yo, so take me to Mars. I want to get pregnant up there. I'm trying to repopulate the white population. You know? They're like, I'm trying to repopulate the people. So that's what we should be having conversations about. But like I said, the United States of America is, basically red. This is a red winter. The whole shit went red, you know. And respectfully, we not even sweating none of that. You know what I mean? We ain't even we not surprised. We realize why that shit is red, and we good with that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we good with that. We are going to be able to function. We are going to be able to thrive. We are going to be able to prosper. And we are going to be able to get our shit together underneath this quote unquote red administration. Right now, the Democratic fallout, okay? The Democratic fallout is still going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Every day there are new detractors and whatnot. You feel me? Rome is falling at an accelerated pace. The Democratic Party is imploding upon itself. All right. They're turning on Kamala. Their fangs are coming out. They're beginning to say nasty things and whatnot. They losing their decor. And she made it even worse by popping up the other day looking like she was drinking some of that Dominican eggnog. We're going to talk about it, right? But check this out. General Michael Flynn, he said out loud, Ukraine is one big money laundering operation. It's our U.S. taxpayer money, and the globalists are washing it through their woke corporation partners, including many politicians. This is Michael Flynn. It's the same dude that flipped on Trump and whatnot. So, he's going rogue. You feel me? He's pointing fingers. If there is any of that taking place, I'm pretty sure with this new administration coming in and the way that they're quote unquote acting like they are sniffing every single corner, they're going to be going over everything and ordering all of this paperwork. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So the other day, I had to see some shit that I can't unsee. You know what I'm talking about? I had to see something that I can't unsee. Okay. Ayo Ray, Emulgin Heat Mycelia. Is that the name of the platform or is that the name of a person? Because what you're describing is something that I'm actually looking for, and the timing could be perfect. The timing is perfect. So look at drunk auntie. We not gonna hate. You know what I'm talking about? We not finna judge, but look at your auntie. You know what I'm talking about? Look at your auntie. What's going on with auntie, man? You know what I mean? That don't look like the face of a woman who was washing her greens in the tub all night. What's going on with sis? You know what I'm talking about? What's happening? Neck looking stressed out. What's going on with sis? What's up with the Throatington? Yeah. So she came on TV and had a word to say to all of her sponsors and whatnot. And it just was not given, it was not for people who go into AA meetings, it just was not given sober vibes. You know what I'm talking about? It was not giving. So what's been burdened cannot be unburdened is a famous saying by her. And I was just like, I was concerned. I was concerned. I know when you lose, I mean, shit, we haven't even seen Mike Tyson lately. I know though, when you lose and you get beat up on, it's hard to come back outside. You feel me? It's hard to come back outside. But I think she's been drowning her sorrows in the coquito. You know, she been in that bathtub where them collard greens is, but it been more. It's more than just collard greens in that bathtub, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Look, they talking greasy. Look.
Happy Thanksgiving, big brother. Thank you very much for coming on this show and helping my audience.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
So, John, I never heard anything like this before. Do you think somebody stole the money?
Well, maybe legally. I mean, look, to me, you remember the movie Mad Max when everybody's just doing whatever they wanted into the world? That's what happened here. All of a sudden, everybody's got the keys to the candy store. Ad buyers, talent, consultants. There's 100 days to do it. And the money started pouring in. Remember this, Chris. It wasn't pouring in for Harris. It was pouring in against Trump. Everybody that was voting and supporting Harris was really voting against Trump. And everybody that was voting for Trump was voting for Trump. So she had all this money coming in. She had all these consultants. And if you don't run the ads, you don't get paid for the buy. They were running ads in Florida, where I live, nonstop. And I'm like, why? I mean, are they running them in Alabama and Idaho too? And I'll tell you why. If you don't run the ads, the buyer doesn't get paid. A $900,000 to put her face on the Sphere in Las Vegas. In the Sphere, the ego, the crazy, the commissions. I was at the White House for a dinner Friday night, talking to a lot of people. And I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of whispering. There's a lot of names about who got paid this, who got paid that. And a lot of people got rich on the back of donors trying to stop Trump. And I think this disqualifies her forever. If you can't run a campaign, you can't run America. And that would be the argument just day one. So it was terrible. I think she did a good job in the debate. I think she did as good a job as she could hope for in a short period of time. I told everybody, she should not have been the nominee. She was not going to win, and she didn't win, and she lost badly. So she's got to go figure out her life. She's in Hawaii. Tim Walz was at the dinner. She was in Hawaii. So she's having a call with donors this week. They tell me about her political future. I don't think she has a political future. So that's my thought on her.
How bad is this for the party going forward?
It's terrible because when you don't trust, it's like Andrew Gillum down here in Florida. He lost by just a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the money was, to DeSantis, just a little bit. But the money was so squandered and kept that, and he was going to take all that money he kept and rebuild the party. The Republicans got 1 million more voters now. What happened in Florida is with Gillum is going to the same thing is going to follow Harris for the rest of her career. She cannot be trusted with the money.
God damn. Talk about stabbing somebody. Who saw Gladiator 2? God damn it. They doing her like they did the two twins in Gladiator 2, bro. Like, talk about stab somebody in the back. I mean, Lord have mercy. A few weeks ago, it was all good just a few weeks ago. This was Big Bad Kamala. She was the one. That's what every 3 minutes on YouTube what the commercial was saying to me. So we watching the party die, the great fall. The Democratic Party will never survive from this fall at such high heights. They are literally scrambling at the bottom and whatnot, and they don't even want to catch the body. They're going to let her fall face first and shatter into a million shards and whatnot. He said the party is dead. She can't be trusted with the money. They don't have any real successors for her. It's over with. It's going to be a Democratic winter for at least 8 years. For at least 8 years, unless Trump's tyranny hits such a feverish pitch and a level where It's just undeniable. And at that point, there probably will be no more elections. This is the last president. You know? So this is the end of the Democratic Party as we know. Henceforth, why I said a minute ago, take a deep breath, because 2024 is evading us, is leaving us. This year, you'll think back and be like, damn, what was I doing in 2024 that I didn't see this shit? Like, cherish this time that you're in this climate. Cherish the Democratic Party for what you even know it as today, because it will pale in comparison to what it is a year from now. You will not recognize it. It will be unrecognizable a year from now. Things will never be the same that they were in this abnormal normal. I was looking at the Shine documentary. Why? Damn, I didn't even put that in this presentation. I was looking at the Shine documentary. Let me turn this off real quick. I was looking at the Shine documentary on Hulu. Well, it was really some bootleg shit. It wasn't even Hulu. But who saw the Shine documentary that just came out? Right? This is something that it was like, that's why documentaries are so important. They're so important, right? Because they bring, the documentary is basically is taking you down memory lane. It's putting you in the quote unquote DeLorean. And I almost forgot. Like, it's crazy how much people forget things. I literally forgot that P. Diddy was in court fighting for his life. Right? P. Diddy was in court fighting for his life back in the days. Like, we think that this situation with him being locked up and going to court about the quote unquote Cassie shit or this RICO that he got, that wasn't his biggest case. His biggest case was the Shine case. That case was bigger than this case. Yes, the one with J-Lo. When he was going to court about a gun charge in a woman that got shot in the face, and this nigga was facing real time. Do you remember? I forgot all about that. I knew that he got locked up, but I forgot about the court case. He had Johnny Cochran on his side. And they sold Shine up the river because Shine's attorney was working for Diddy. Yeah, and he put it on Shine. And when they were at trial, everything was turning to make Shine look like he was a young hothead who basically shot a gun inside of a club and shot an innocent bystander, when the real story that came out was like both of them was busting off, Shine and Diddy. And the lady who got shot in the face said he shot me. He's the one that shot me. So he's paying his karma because of what Shine, where Shine is at right now. It just took me watching a documentary. Who saw the documentary? Let me see it in the chat. So I'm just not talking about something that nobody saw. And I've been telling you about Jackie Rowe. She's all over the documentary. Mike Tyson's sister. That's who we used to work with, Jackie Rowe at Mike Tyson Entertainment. I'm trying to explain to y'all history. You know what I mean? I'm trying to establish, certain characters, main characters in this movie. Okay. She's a main character. She plays a humongous role in a lot of things. But she was in the documentary, you know what I mean? She was explaining how Sean came up, in Flatbush, and he was a nobody at first. And then he got lucky, you know what I mean? He was persistent. The documentary is crazy. It's crazy. I didn't really see Sean in that type of light until I seen the documentary. He went through many incarnations of Jamal Barrow. He's not one person. He been through mad incarnations. He was Orthodox Jew. He was the dude that was on trial, because the Sean that was on trial fighting for his freedom was not Sean that we knew when he got signed, when he was like gun ho and lit like that. Then he had a, it was a lot of story. It's a good story. It's a good story. He is the closest to Obama. He's the closest archetype to an Obama, politician wise, that I see out there. He's almost a doppelganger to Obama. I don't know how he was able to merge into that persona, but he locked right in. He's the Obama of the Bahamas. He's the Obama of Bermuda. No, of Belize. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was the Obama of Belize. And he has a future ahead of him. That story that they're gonna make his life a movie. Mark my word, his story is going to become a movie very soon, because that documentary was a tearjerker, not a tearjerker, but it made you root for him, right? Remember, I said it before. The villain is the one who is unredeemable. The villain is he who is unredeemable. So they're making P. Diddy the villain. They're trying to make him unredeemable with the Cassie tape, right? With the Cassie tape. They're like, yo, this nigga's unredeemable. He's the worst of the worst. He's a villain. Like, if anybody saw the Penguin series and whatnot, the last episode, they make him an unredeemable villain, because through the whole series, you're rooting for the villain. You're rooting for the villain. The whole cast, it's a cast of villains. So there's no hero in the story. You're rooting for the villain until the last episode. They show you why he's unredeemable. And then you can't fuck with him no more. You have to be hands off. That's the same thing that people said about P. Diddy. They was like, yo, I was rocking with him, but after the video dropped, he's unredeemable. He's irredeemable. It's hands off. It's hands off. So Sean is not a villain. Sean would be like the anti-hero, or he's on his hero's journey. They don't paint him as the villain. They paint him as a fatherless child whose father abandoned him, and whose mother was an immigrant from Belize who came to America, like many first generation. That when I was in Flatbush, my best friends and all of them, they mothers was Sean's mama and was Valletta Wallace, Biggie's moms. I knew all of those prototypes, archetypes of those women, because when I would go into households, that was the women that I was meeting. Mad religious, gun ho. I'm talking about damn near possessed with their children succeeding and whatnot. I'm talking about to the point of, possession, like that they were possessed by the idea of their little ones becoming successful and living the American dream and whatnot. And it was a lot of mothers who buried their children in Flatbush, you know what I mean? Because the children hopped off the porch and they got a taste of that American life, the Gondolero lifestyle, and they got a sniff and a whiff of the allure. You feel me? And it had people intoxicated, because remember, Generation X, we was the first generation to touch real bread. You feel me? We was the first generation to touch real bread like that. My father and them, they generation, they had money, but they wasn't touching money like this. They didn't have bread like that. They didn't have bankrolls on bankrolls and whatnot. We were the first generation to really touch that money. So we talking about children that went from, they mamas was on, they mamas didn't have it. They mamas was busting their asses and whatnot. Latchkey children, and mama had 2 jobs, and you got children bringing home a few $100s, then a few $1,000s. It was intoxicating. You know what I mean? It was intoxicating. There's nothing that nobody could tell that wave that swept over the youth, the young generation at that point. There was nothing that could stop it because we went from poverty to touching a few dollars and whatnot, and we never had that before. So for all of the children that was getting caught up in the cannon fodder and the crime laws, getting 20, 30 years and whatnot, getting a shit pushed back, it was like we really couldn't stop at that point because we was, you know what I mean? You outside and you running from the Grim Reaper now. You running from the Grim Reaper. You can't slow down. Everybody that I seen to slow down, they got their shit rocked. You know? Yeah, ashy to classy. We were exposed to aspirational rap from Bad Boy Records. You understand? This Scorpio right here, okay? This dark tetrad, right? He is a dark tetrad. He is a dark triad. He has the psychological profile of a lot of executives in corporate America. P. Diddy, Sean Combs, who I'm speaking of, right? Psychologically, he fits the profile of the American psycho, right? The way that he was meticulous with detail and the way that he was meticulous with his vision. They talk about it in the documentary. He was the nigga who helped you see your idea all the way to the finish, from the song in the studio all the way up to the video, all the way up into the artist development. How we gonna dress this nigga? How you gonna look? What your persona is going to be. He's the kingmaker, right? The Scorpio right there. He's the kingmaker, and he created aspirational rap. And if y'all wasn't alive, or if you wasn't listening to rap, or if you didn't, if you were not of that time period, the time period I'm speaking of, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. If you wasn't in that lifestyle, I'm just going to give you some insights. Okay. I'm here to give you I'm here to walk you through, like as if we were in a museum, because one day there's going to be an installation, and there's going to be displays, and it's going to be an art show, and we're going to be able to walk you through this shit and point things out and be like, all right, boom, right here. This is the video with Total, right? 112 and Total. No, yeah, Biggie. Can you see? When this nigga was wearing the all white shit on, he was sitting on the throne and he was talking that shit. Yeah, that's the beginning. Juicy video. Yeah, that's the beginning and whatnot. Where we started to see ourselves like, wait a minute, wait, what? What is this nigga Biggie saying? We could live in mansions? Oh shit, we could drive 600s. What the fuck is a 600? You know what I mean? The Wu-Tang, they was talking about hopping out of MPVs 40 deep. You know what I mean? We understood what that was. The Thames is leaning. You got the angry ice grill and all of that. You know, you got the hoodie on with the cone head. You squabbling up. That's the type of energy, grimy shit that New York and Brooklyn and all of that was on. Biggie and them came with what is called aspirational rap. To whereas I don't have to be a drug dealer to listen to Jay-Z or to Biggie talk his shit. I could be working a fucking wrench, like the person said earlier. I could be a HVAC nigga. I could be fixing cars. You feel me? I could be into whatever I'm into. It's still aspirational. I could take that. Give me that. I could take that. I could use that. I could alchemize that to fit the shit that I'm doing. I'm not trying to sell I'm not trying to be a big Willie like Biggie Smalls wearing Coogis all day. I'm just not cut for that. But I'm cut for this. And aspirational rap. They gave us the Little Kims of the world. What's the aspiration? We didn't see shorties that was bad like that before. That was like, whoa, wait a minute. We could get girls like this. They rocking with us. Oh shit, aspirational. And it terraformed a whole generation. You had to be there to see it. It turned everybody from ashy to classy. That's why when people be like, why y'all be talking about the music and whatnot? Because nigga, the music is powerful. The music is a programming language, fam. The music is powerful. The music is majestic. The music is attached to the currency. You feel me? And I've seen whole generations switch up, change up, transform based off of the music, which is a part of the culture and whatnot. And that era, right? That era kind of ended in 2024. The bad boy era ended in 2024. The quote unquote Drake, because Drake is aspirational rap too. You understand? Drake is aspirational rap too. Biggie was repping for the niggas that was fat, black, and ugly, cross-eyed, had the hamburgers on their necks and whatnot. He was giving them aspirations to bag a Little Kim, to bag a Faith Evans, to bag a Charlie Baltimore, to have everybody talking about you the best and whatnot, to put little niggas under pressure. That's what Biggie represented for the big guys and whatnot. Then Drake came along and he was representing for the cornballs, for the squares and whatnot, for the, the people, the dudes who shorties was laughing at them. Like, are you going to do something with that? You know what I mean? Like, he was representing for the socially awkward dudes. He was representing for the emo niggas. He was representing for the for the Jimmy Brooks of the world. And he made them cool. Kanye, aspirational. He made nerds cool for the quote unquote baddies, the ones who will always look over them. Y'all turned that whole generation of niggas into monsters. Cute women out there, bad shorties out there that's listening to me, video vixens that hear this, y'all turn square niggas, you know what I'm saying, into monsters. That's why we living in the revenge of the nerds era, where they out here pulling Kevin Samuels approved stunts on y'all, popping the balloon. Nah, shit, I don't wanna. What's wrong with her? She got a tattoo on her neck. I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just stunting on y'all. And how many kids you got? Popping the balloon and whatnot. Revenge of the nerds. These nerdy niggas is out here acting like they max right now. You know what I'm talking about? Because of the trauma that they went through as young men, not being accepted, being rejected, being looked over. I don't want to rock with the nice guy. I'm going for the thug. I'm going for the goons and whatnot. I'm going for the hood niggas. And y'all left the backpackers, the skateboarders, you know what I mean? The socially awkward dudes, y'all left them completely abandoned to fucking look for Avril Lavigne in them. Avril Lavigne and shit like that. Y'all left them with the Avril Lavignes and the fucking Wednesdays from the Addams Family to nurture them. Yeah, Kid Cudi, Charles Hamilton. You know what I mean? That's the emo rappers, right? Those were Kanye's babies and whatnot, right? But Kanye, they said thank Kanye because when he got Amber Rose, right? And when he was able to grab Amber Rose, you understand? Who was a dancer, who she was a prototype. I'm not talking about Amber Rose, the person. I'm talking about Amber Rose, the prototype. Those are two different people. Niggas don't be into nobody's real life and who they really are unless they really care. It's the prototype that they pay attention to. You feel me? The body, the shape. Yeah, bald head Amber Rose. The aesthetics. That's where they was like, oh shit, Ye is the legend. Because after he bagged that, that's when you saw the squares, the Charles Hamiltons, all of the Kanye babies, they started becoming eye candy for the baddies. They become eye candy for the baddies. So it's almost like the 100 monkey theory. Once you seen Kanye step out with her, then you started to seeing the models and whatnot and the video vixens. I used to date video vixens, so I remember how that shit was going back in those days. And I remember the shift. I was there. I remember the shift. I remember when they started getting mad gay. I remember when they started rocking with, like, they went from rocking with strictly street niggas, strictly hood dudes, and then they started softening up and they started getting with the awkward dudes or the socially awkward dudes, or what they would call the nerds. This was the nerd era, because they always liked the music, but them Pharrell niggas was always in the friend zone. They wasn't thinking about fornicating with them. They used to dance. Models would love I love the Pharrell music. Oh my goodness, let's turn up. But they wasn't thinking about rocking with them like that. They wasn't letting them mac them. And then all of that changed. All of that changed. So Diddy was about aspiration. Henceforth, why so many people are like, oh, I hate that nigga. They're more hurt. That he let them down than the fact that they're surprised that this nigga was whatever they say he is. But he was fighting for his life in the 99 2000. He started this millennium fighting for his life. In the documentary, Gene Deal says that the day that he was going to go get sentenced, or the day that he was going to go hear the verdict, they said, we got the verdict, come on down and hear the verdict. So he said that they stopped in Central Park. He said P. Diddy walked into the park and he told Gene, just stay right there, Gene, I'll be right back. He walked into the park and he said that there was a man who prayed over him, right? He got on one knee and then a man prayed over him and burnt all of this sage around him and everything, right? He saged him down, and then he had him go and pick up a bird out of a cage, a dove or a pigeon. If anybody understands what that means, you know what I'm talking about, right? They say he went and picked up a pigeon, and then when he picked the pigeon up and went to throw the pigeon in the air, you know how when you throw, when people have like the RIPs and whatnot, and you throw the dove and you throw the doves in the air. He said he threw the dove in the air and the dove just came right back down to the ground and was dead. It didn't fly. It didn't like attempt to fly away. He said the minute P. Diddy touched that shit, it died. Right? Like Obia. Yeah, like Obia. Right. Voodoo. Right. It fell. Right. It didn't even fly. He said the minute he grabbed that motherfucking bird, the bird died. Then they got in the truck and they went to the courthouse, right? And P. Diddy got acquitted, right? He was the first person whose name they called out, and they were reading all of the accounts, and they acquitted him. He was being charged for a gun. He was being charged for a shooting. He was being charged from running from the police. Him and Wolf. Wolf didn't get convicted and then gets killed by Meech in Atlanta, right? So it goes back to what I was saying before. Sometimes people get locked up, and that lockup is to slow you down because you were basically headed towards a grave, right? And your angels, your guardian angels, the ones who are moving these chess pieces, they will put you in what they call sit you down mode. They will put you in a motherfucking shallow. They will put you in situ. They will bury you alive in purgatory to save your life, because you was going to catch a bullet. You was about to get backdoored. You was about to get your shit pushed back, even though it appears like the worst thing that could ever happen, and you crying and you can, oh my goodness, I'm not able to be with my family on Thanksgiving. I can't eat dinner. Why me? What was me? Oh God, please. And you find religion behind the walls. But I've seen it on many occasions. I promise you, this is some street observation. This is just from being a goddamn a bird perched on a branch, just looking at things. I've seen it on many, many different occasions. People who had a death wish, who were headed right to the morgue, they get sat down. Then they pop back up years later, maybe a decade later, and they on a completely different path. They running far away from the motherfucking Reaper. And then I seen people who got jammed up, bailed out, and got their shit pushed back the same night, the next day, a few days later. And it's like, damn, was it God's plan to protect them and to shield them? Because to be honest with you, when somebody's coming for you, when somebody's gunning for you, that might be the only place that your ass is semi-safe. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they be finding people in other places because niggas die every day, B. You know? They know where you sleeping. They know the color of your car. They got your whole route and everything. Hey, I'm just saying, sometimes shit happens weird in weird ways. This life is not black and white. This reality that we live in, this shit is not cut the way that we thought it was. It's a lot of quote unquote ups and downs, ebbs and flows. But the Shine documentary on Hulu is a must see. Okay, that is a must see. I recommend everybody watch that. It is a redemption story. It's a redemption story that you could relate to, because if you was into the culture, you saw that shit happen. And if you were born later on and you don't know the Shine story, go and check it out, because it's a good story to tap into. You feel me? I'm very proud of that man. Flatbush, he's from the bush, same thing where I'm from. He's from the same hood that I'm from. I seen his come up. You feel me? We was a part of the same management companies and whatnot. I seen the good brothers come up, and I know where he could have winded up. I know where he could have winded up, because once your shit is pushed back, there's no you can't try it over. You know what I mean? There's no doing it over. You know, once it's over, it's over. So he said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Oh, it's on Prime. Okay. Okay. He explains everything about him and Diddy in the documentary. He does explain how when he came home, he was cordial with the man. He wasn't beefing with him. He was trying to heal. He said it was more about him healing by forgiving him. He had to become more mature, because think about it. When P. Diddy go to sleep at night, it's not him that's gonna suffer. It's Sean that's still suffering if he haven't forgiven that man, and he got hate on his heart. And he's like, shit. It's early on the West Coast, and it ain't that late if you don't got work tomorrow. Watch that shit after we get off of the live. It's a good hour and a half and whatnot. It's an easy watch. You feel me? But he went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he definitely paid his dues to society. He did 8 years and change and whatnot. And he was able to recreate and rebrand and reestablish his walk. You know what I mean? And I hope that there's some children out there that get inspired by his true story to see redemption. Keyword. I don't fuck with nobody if they're irredeemable. You know what I mean? You finish to me. But redemption is a trait that I look for in our people, only because. Yeah, don't forget about Loon. That's my guy too. And me and Loon was kicking it in Atlanta about a year ago. He's another one with the big redemption arc. He's another one with the huge redemption arc. He's living in either Saudi Arabia or Dubai right now, going heavy with the Islam. You feel me? Being very focused. He don't want to have nothing to do with music, none whatsoever, and whatnot. And yeah. So he explained how Diddy did him dirty. And then they also have a clip where after Diddy gets arrested and they show the tape and Sean is like, yeah, I cut him off. I couldn't have nothing to do with him. He's not redeemable, so I severed ties with him. And then recently he went even further and was like, yeah, I lost 10 years of my life. This nigga set me up. But I promise you, the documentary is going to show you everything that you need to see. This is karma. He got denied bail the other day. Karma. Because this was the case that was supposed to send him to jail. There was not going to be a goddamn P. Diddy. There was not going to be the Puff Daddy that you knew. He was not going to assault Cassie and do all of these things that he was doing because he was supposed to go to jail in that case. And he found a scapegoat. He found another victim, somebody to basically paint that picture with, and it was Shine. And he did not take care of that man when he came home. He tried to lowball him. So karma's a biatch. Mace, G Dep, Black Rob, God damn it. What's my dude? Craig Mack. Like, it was a whole lot of them. So this is karma working. It's a karma angle that we're seeing right now. Please understand that.
And the party and the donors are going to be like, where is this money going? Look, the week of the election, a former ambassador called me and said, I'm having a fundraiser, this like 2 days before the election. I said, how can you spend the money? Well, we need it for GOTV. I said, no. I stopped giving once Biden was out. As you know, Chris, I said, that's it. I'm a Biden guy. I wasn't Harris.
Yeah. So goodbye, Kamala. She's officially cooked. She's finished. If y'all don't know where's the documentary at, it's on Hulu and it's on Prime. It's on Hulu and it's on Prime. Let me drop this link real here. Don't blow it up. Don't tell nobody that I did this, but I'm gonna hit y'all with the bang dooley. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you're looking at when it comes to this thing with Kamala, this is basically the ending of her political career in so many words. The way that it's unfolding. Okay, it's unfolding. If the Bidens have anything to do with it, they're gonna make sure that she never runs for any office again. The speech that she made, they would basically get people rallying around her for the next 4 years. She did not land. She did not land that quote unquote interview. She was inebriated. She looked bad, and nothing came out of that but memes and whatnot making fun of her. So yeah, she's literally out of here. Okay. And you're going to see more fallout. You're going to see more fallout around Kamala moving forward. And once again, don't let Trump and them get their hands on no type of legal work when it comes to cooking her, because they're going to make her stir fried. They're going to cook her up. You know what I mean? They want to make some examples of black women or brown women. So since we last came together on Melanin Monday, I believe when me and Blue Pill were on live on Melanin Monday, he dropped the first lawsuit against UMG, right? And this first lawsuit against UMG. Now, let's be clear. This is not a lawsuit. He is filing a petition. Okay? This is a petition, right? The lawsuit is on the way. Okay? The lawsuit is on the way. This is just a petition to extract information from Universal. Now, I want you to understand what it is that you're seeing Drake, aka Aubrey Graham, doing. For anybody in the building that's a Scorpio, right? Or if you ever dated a Scorpio, or if you have Scorpio children, or if you have Scorpio parents, there is an act that a Scorpio will do when cornered, right? before a Scorpio loses its life, a Scorpio will take its own life, right? A Scorpio is known to fall on its sword, right? A Scorpio, when backed into a corner, will spaz and start stabbing itself, right? So, what you're seeing and what you're witnessing is the proverbial Scorpio self sabotage, where he is destroying himself and everything around him because he's destroying, because he is imploding and whatnot. He is deciding to take others with him. Now, this is, even with Kamala, right, as the sore loser, okay, because this Jason month, the epilogue of the Jason month is just ended just horribly. If you were to ask me, if you were to take my, just, the season finale of the Jason months, you know what I mean? The way that the last season wrapped up, I don't know what was worse, the last episode of Penguin or this shit right here. You know what I mean? But a lot of sore losers, a lot of lessons learned. It gave a lot of people some insight to check themselves. You know what I mean? Because you may feel like you are a certain part in your journey. Oh, I'm evolved. But you was locked in with this woman right here, with this fake candidate. You know what I mean? You were rallying behind, you know, this candidate. You were in her neck of the woods, right? And you were an avid Drake fan. You were like, nah, Drake is winning. You know what I mean? You got to check yourself. No disrespect to you, but you gotta do a self audit. You know what I mean? Because you down 2 for 2. You bet on Mike Tyson. You was rallying for Kamala, and you didn't let Drake go. Yeah, this was a heavy year for you. This was a heavy year for you. You know what I'm talking about? You should check yourself at the end of this year and be like, where am I at with things? You know what I mean? My discernment is off. My discernment is off. I got it wrong 3 times in a row. I got it wrong 3 times in a row. Look at Kamala in the chat. This is either Kamala or Doug. You never speak ill of criminal Trump. You only badmouth Kamala. Either that's Doug, Kamala, or one of those bald-headed women that gave up giving out the box. That either one of them is in the chat right now. But I be cooking Trump. You know what I'm talking about? Like, my nigga, I was giving Trump so much work. They should have hired me at the motherfucking DNC. You know what I mean? We go all the way back to 2016. You know what I mean? 2016. But going back to what I said in the beginning, I'm going to recognize the authenticity in whoever, a supervillain, a superhero, whatever. It's the authenticity for me. So he wins in that category. He's authentically a Homelander. And she, ma'am, I don't know what's her pronouns, but she wasn't authentic enough for me to rally behind and to not speak ill of. You know what I mean? It's the fakeness for me. You know what I'm talking about? It's the fakeness for me. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Hold on. Somebody come and get Crash Bandicoot. What was it? Crash Bandicoot. Somebody get the crash dummy. They out here speeding right now. You're going past the speed limit. So this Drake shit is very interesting because people are looking at it from different angles. You know what I'm talking about? The Drake apologists are like, yo, this is very wise. He's bringing down the industry. He's doing this for all of the independent artists. And then there's a whole fucking contingency of people, and they're like, yo, Drake is the corniest Negro ever in rap. I'm not rocking with him. So, boom, another one bites the dust for 2024, right? This is the year of exposure, but this is the year where we seen a lot of giants fall, right? And this is one of the biggest giants, right, that fell this year. And it wasn't the rap battle that made him fall. It wasn't the diss tracks. It wasn't Mustard. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It's this shit right here that made him fall, because there's even people who were aligned with him, who were in denial with him, who were rallying behind him. And it was like, Drake, Drake, Drake. They like, nah, I ain't fucking with it. I can't. This is too sassy for me. This is a sassy aggressiveness if I've ever seen it. But let's check out what the record people are saying. I follow this dude on IG. Let's see what he got to say.
Clear here. The MZA is not switching up. Look, the Kendrick and Drake beef aside, and the people, remove that and look at the case. Filing a defamation of character case against these platforms, Universal and Spotify, is monumental, because regardless of who said what, these two platforms were like huge megaphones and put it out to the world an accusation about Drake that was unproven. So what I'm saying is, if that's the ammunition that brings these DSPs and this label to its knees, then that is an ally of our movement. That's it. Okay? Screw who these people are personally. They may be reprehensible. What's going on with Diddy and the Cassie thing? That's reprehensible. But everybody deserves to be treated fairly. That's all I'm saying. And these platforms do what is good in the moment to make the money, and then they screw over the talent. That's why Spotify did this whole 1,000 stream thing, to keep the money flowing to the majors. And that has got to stop. That's what I'm saying. Take the personal out and the politics.
So what he's saying is, this lawsuit is going to expose, right? Because keep in mind, this is the largest artist, right? This is Lucian right here on your right. This is Liar Cohen in the middle. And that's Kanye to the left, right? Or to your right. So Kanye was one of the first ones to blow up Lucian, right? So what this is going to do, the only way that this won't put Lucian in the spotlight is if they settle out of court and they give Drake some type of enormous amount of money. But the era of Drake is over. Drake will never be able to do business with his record label in good faith from this point on. They're never going to get behind him the way that they got behind him before. The people at the label are going to revolt, even if it's coming from the top down and they like, yo, you got to get behind this project. You got to get behind this song. You got to get behind Drake. They're going to be like, no, I'm not doing it. The shit that he did was some whole activity. He's trying to expose us and whatnot. Because if they are forced to release the documents about how they promote and push their quote unquote mega hits, it is over. It is over. If they're able to be sued for defamation of character, imagine what Mama Duck and all of the mothers of the the children who got killed by drill rappers and these mega corporations who were spending billions of dollars in marketing and strategies and quote unquote project promotions and whatnot. Imagine how much money these mothers can get from these quote unquote corporations. That is defamation of character. If somebody killed another rapper and then they rapping about it for years upon years upon years, and you got this man and that man in the middle, they're the ones that are putting billions and millions behind it, then they could be sued. Bring all of them to court. Okay? This motherfucker has been getting away from a lot of shit for a very long time. Lucian, that is. Keep in mind, he was just named This is Lucien, and if you're familiar with this platform, if you've been watching the lectures that we've been doing over the years and whatnot, this nigga has been on the stove multiple of times. I've been cooking this dude. We've been telling you about him. We've been highlighting who he is. This is not a friend of the culture at all. And this is his son, right? His son is the one that brought you Tekashi 6ix9ine. His son is the one that brought you Ice Spice. This nigga right here, Elliot Grange, who's behind Ten Oaks Records, and that's his father, Lucien. So they made him president of Atlantic Records and whatnot. So moving into 2025, they're going to have a monopoly on the music business. The lawsuit that Drake is it's not a lawsuit. The petition that he put out in the paperwork that's alluding to a lawsuit, right, is definitely something that they are afraid of, because they've been robbing musicians for a very long time. They are in bed with another criminal organization called Spotify. Lucien Grange is a PDF file, right, at the highest levels, okay? And he was called out in a lawsuit earlier this year that involved your boy Pete the Diddler, okay? The Diddler. And he was able to get his name out of the paperwork and whatnot. He was able to get his name removed from the sex trafficking lawsuit. But in the lawsuit, it was basically saying that these orgies and these sex parties that were being done with industry people and whatnot were basically being set up by the likes of these executives, and Diddy was like a middleman. But who was funding them? Who was providing the drugs and whatnot? You know what I mean? They brought Lucien's name up. Okay, Lucien sounds a lot like Lucifer. So who remembers Lucius from Empire? Who remembers your boy Terrence Howard's character on Empire? Now, according to industry insiders, Lucien is a combination of Diddy and Lucius with Cookie and Lucius, right? He is that character that Lee Daniels wrote up is a combination of Diddy and Lucien together. Okay. He's not to be trusted. Study more and you'll find out that that's not his real name. Yeah, more than likely, he's part of the quote unquote Small Hat Federation. You know what I mean? He's Sir Lucien Grange, by the way, too. He got the sir put on him by Queen Elizabeth, the lizard. Okay. But he's based out of the UK, you know what I mean? And his hands are very dirty. And this is Kanye's mortal enemy. So, I'm sure he's somewhere sitting back, laughing and whatnot, rubbing his hand, Birdman hand rub. And he's like, yes, finally, you know what I mean? We finna cook these niggas. And he called Lucien Grange Drake's rich baby daddy. So when he was talking about you got rich baby daddies and whatnot, that's who he was talking to, right? So at Universal, this is one of their biggest artists, okay? The top 3, Taylor Swift, Drake, and Beyonce. You know what I'm talking about? And he basically signed a $400 million deal. They were talking about renegotiating the deal as a result of him getting beat up in the battle and whatnot. The deal that they were probably offering him is now no longer on the table, okay? So with his rich baby daddy, he basically gassed him up and made him feel like he was the biggest thing at the label. He was hotter than sliced bread and whatnot. And of course, he let that shit get to his head, and he probably moved around like he was a boss. And people in the industry decided that his time is up and they're gonna pull the plug on him. And then you see him getting jumped, and henceforth we're here right now. So there's a dude named Larry Jackson who owns a company called Gamma, and Gamma is behind Sexy Red. And Gamma, it was rumored that Drake is part owner of Gamma, because the Gamma dude is very interesting, because Joe Budden interviewed him earlier this year. Larry Jackson. That's another interview that I suggest that you go and check out to get information from real behind the scene hitters. He's a heavy hitter. He's a big boy in the music industry. He's the one that brought streaming to hip hop. He's the one that brought the streaming technology to hip hop. It was Larry Jackson. And in an interview with Joe Budden, Larry Jackson explains that it was Drake who got everybody into streaming. Drake was the marquee artist that Larry Jackson was working with, who was like, you know what? I'm going to introduce streaming, because people was not on board for streaming. The Spotify, Apple Music business model. They were not on board with that. They were not rocking with that. They had to renegotiate mad new contracts because it doesn't pay the same as the old contracts with CDs and physical products and whatnot. They had to revamp that whole shit to whereas niggas is getting paid 0.00008 cents on a damn stream. You know, I mean, it's completely highway robbery. And Larry Jackson is a black man. So a black man, a melanated man, a Mobite, a Moor, whatever, he is behind jerking the music industry in a new phase of the jerkage. You know what I mean? A new phase, a new frontier, a new era of robbery called streaming business. And that shit is a fucking, it is a monopoly, and it's a racket. So the lawsuit or the threat of a lawsuit from Mr. Aubrey Graham, who knows too much. Remember, he's one of them niggas that knows too much. And if he decides that he wants to start talking, he's playing sassy with the big boys and whatnot. And, you know, he's waving, he's giving them the little finger, you know what I'm saying? He's acting real sassy with them, saying, if you want me to, I could blow this shit up. Try me. We'll all go down in flames, my nigga. So they have to respond to him in a legal manner, where they're either going to let him see the books, or they're going to pay him an exorbitant amount of money to shut him up. But then after they do that, the relationship will forever be damaged. Okay? Because he doesn't own any equity in these companies. He's only the talent. And of course, as you can see with Kendrick Lamar, they have their eyes on a new quote unquote sound. They have their eyes fixated on a new artist that they're ready to get behind. They have their eyes fixated on a new superstar who they want to turn into a megastar, and Drake is replaceable. Now, this nigga went super sassy and whatnot. Like I said, he's going on tour the same day that Kendrick will be at the Super Bowl. He does not want that song to be played at the Super Bowl, but he can't stop TV off and other songs. It doesn't matter at this point. You know what I mean? Squabble up, TV off. You feel me? I mean, there's other songs. If he stops them from doing They Not Like Us, it don't matter at this point. It's over with, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, goddamn it. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stop a train when it's moving. So he's jumping in front of a moving train, attempting to stop it and whatnot. And, you know, yeah, this is definitely his Jewish side coming out. He let his Jewish side breathe when he cut them dreads. What is it? The braids? When he cut them goddamn braids off, you know what I mean? I guess Aubrey seeked out, you know what I mean? The fucking the yeshiva side of him, it popped out and whatnot, and he's going very Jewish on them. And this is how they fight. This is how they fight. I promise you. This is how they fight. Yes, lawsuit Poppy. This is how they fight through lawyers. You know what I'm saying? and they fight. It's a chess game. So you're literally watching chess being played. I'm not here to badmouth him. I'm not here to do anything. I'm just here to report the news and give the facts the way that they come across my desk and whatnot. You feel me? I'm watching the chess game play out. I'm just putting you on game that this is chess, because different moves are going to indicate how this thing winds up. You know what I mean? But Universal Music, it deems the petition claims offensive and untrue. That is their chess move, right? That's their next chess move after his chess move. They're trying to yeah, this shit is you know what I mean? Da, da, da. But we're gonna see how far it goes. Because if, like Dude said in the video, if they're forced to open up their books, it's going to open up a can of worms where Universal Music, Liar Cohen, Lucian, all of these people who've been getting away with a lot of shit. Remember, the music entity called the music industry, that has to die. Death of the party. Watch the party die. That has to die. 2024 going into 2025, that has to die. The great fall, that has to fall, right? The music business as it is, or hip hop music, that has to thrive. That has to grow. That has to be revamped. That has to be reimagined. You know what I'm talking about? And that needs to be in the hands of the people. Okay, so he wants to become the biggest independent artist in the world and whatnot. And if they cut him from the label and whatnot, and he goes independent, that alone is going to shake up the industry and change things forever and whatnot. Because this is the biggest artist in the world, right? Going independent. Yeah, that might be a problem. I don't think the majors don't want that. So once again, like I said, 2025 is going to be way different than 2024. Things are going to change. Things are going to shift. Event horizon. We are past a threshold where nothing will be the same as it was before. There's a seismic shift taking place. Pluto and Aquarius. There's a seismic shift taking place. Okay. Seismic. Alone from the obvious, outside of the obvious, that one of the biggest artists in the world is, you know, that star has quote unquote dimmed. That star is dimming and it may explode. It may implode on itself. Who knows? Who knows? But what I do know, in the court of public opinion, yeah, niggas has divorced him. They getting they OVO tattoos covered up this weekend, Black Friday sales and whatnot, and they moving on. And they are giving the crown to Kendrick Lamar, Duckworth Lamar. You know, people are coming around and acquiescing and saying, "Damn, you know what? I did. You know that is my boy." Now that I think about it, man, that is my boy. You know what I'm saying? You know. So artists are beginning to see that moving forward, all you need is a healthy Instagram following, a healthy YouTube following, a healthy TikTok following, or a healthy Twitter X following. And you could just basically release your project through those means. Look how Kendrick released his album, right? He uploaded it to his X account, and then boom, the shit started breaking records and whatnot. He didn't do no rollout. He didn't need the label for anything. He didn't need their artwork. He didn't need their promotion. He didn't need the street team. He didn't need the radio interviews. He didn't need the magazine covers. None of that was needed. He just uploaded it and put it out there. If you hot enough and your name holds enough weight, you cut the middleman out. Now, just imagine if he did something like that and he didn't have he just had his label, and every single purchase of the album or every single purchase of a single And all of that stream money is going directly to him. No middleman, no nothing. You don't need nobody. Imagine that, right? That's what the artists of today are going to be trying to get to. They're trying to get out of their contract. They're trying to get out of the rape that's going on with these labels and whatnot. They're trying to get all of those hands out of their pockets. They're trying to get at least 80 cents for a dollar sale. They're trying to get $8 off of a $20 sale. They want to get as much as possible and get all of these people up out of their pocket so they won't be in perpetual poverty for the rest of their lives. Because imagine you living the rest of your life and motherfuckers is just eating off of you every day. Yeah, Tory Lanez showed the way. He's a blueprint. He's a blueprint. You know? You do what you want when you popping. Yeah. Yeah, Tory Lane, he brought you that blockchain. Yeah. He showed him the way. So we have a sale going on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a sale, okay? And we got new slaps. You know what I mean? We got new designs on the website. So 30% off for Black Friday, the Mart125.com. The Mart125.com. The discount code is in the description. So on checkout, all you have to do is put the discount code in the description and you will get your 30% off the store-wide sale. And we have new pieces. We got the new Kendrick. Check this out. This was killing the internet earlier. All right. Jesus Saves Gangsters too. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? We got that on a hoodie. People seem to like that. So that's what they're getting. They're going to get what they want. So we got that. And I'm going to end it at this. This is Little Duval. He just put this post up today. Y'all say that this year has been all about exposing. I think it's been about releasing hate because that's what has gotten the most attention this year, the villain mindset. And the public been cheering it on because it's a way for them to release the hate that they got bottled up too. So I agree. Like I said, we're in the villain era and it's not a negative thing. You know what I mean? It's just a state of mind to where a lot of people are at. You know what I'm saying? It's in the air. It's out there. You know, this is a very dark year. This has been a very dark year. The dark night of the soul, the darkness of this year, people's darkest secrets being exposed and whatnot. The light is being shined into the darkest corners and it's illuminating, you know, things that people were in mad denial. They had no idea that what was going on in the dark and whatnot. The president, the new president, the administration is coming in very dark. You know what I mean? Very dark days ahead is what they're promising, especially for people that are still locked into this program and whatnot. So yeah, the dark night rises, and that is not a bad thing. You feel me? That is not a bad thing. As a Scorpio, we know that the darkness is a beautiful thing. Things grow in the darkness. You know, things grow in the darkness. Okay. That UV light helps the crops grow. You would think it's the sunlight and whatnot, but it's the UV rays that helps them crops grow. Yes, as Blue Pill said, confrontational consciousness. You feel me? So when we see it through those lenses and whatnot, we're able to, you know, evaluate things a lot better. We're able to evaluate things a lot better and not be taken by surprise. You feel me? And not be you know, and not be reactionary. Rise in power to everybody who has gained an ancestor in these trying times. You feel me? Love and light to all of y'all. And you know, we're going to what's today? Third eye. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some things over the strong end. If not Saturday Night Live, definitely Sacrilegious Sundays, but we will be coming back to y'all on this quote unquote strong end with some more entries. Okay. With some more entries. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for your time tonight. Thank you everybody for your energy. Thank you everybody for your patience and, for your engagement in the chat room. I appreciate every single one of you. So take advantage of that sale. Let me check something real quick. Let me give you the link for this site again. Anybody that wants to check out either that Hulu, The Shine. I watched The Penguin on this site, and a few other TV series and movies and whatnot. I dropped it in the chat right there. Boom. You feel me? There you go. That's for you. Don't tell nobody though. It's our secret. So yeah, man. buymeacoffee.com/know the ledger 444. Show your love. Love and light to the family. Peace.
Brand new purple light, brand new purple light, facts, brand new purple light, red, and blue, purple light, facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.